up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Check your mics. How are you feeling? I want to hear every word. I want to hear the breath. Is that close enough for you?
Yeah.
Triple check.
I'm a heavy breather.
Is this like too close?
No,
Are you a mouth breather?
Mouth breathing is like a big thing, apparently. Yeah. You know, like, well, actually, like, sorry, like,
chewers,
nose
chewers.
Nose breathing.
breather?
Yeah.
I think that's how you're supposed to breathe.
Yeah. You're supposed to breathe that way. Yeah. I
are
didn't
you
know
a mouth
this.
breather?
No, I'm not.
That'd be a horrible thing to have, like, on the whole undertone of the podcast. You're just hearing this
like,
humming.
I'm like, okay, we need to mute his mic. Okay, let's just start.
Yeah.
Chainsmokers, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
I just got nervous now.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't, but now I'm nervous.
Alex just shit his pants.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, let me take a drink.
Shit.
Cheers. Let's do another cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Everybody calm down. Everything's
This is
going to
gonna
be
be great.
okay.
It's gonna be
The
great.
boys are a little nervous, guys. Daddy Gang, be nice to them in the comments.
I wasn't at all. It was the same with Alex, just right until we started, and now you're like professional Alex, and
I'm like, hello.
yeah.
I feel like
Let's
it's
get
like
into
you
it.
Because
guys
I've seen this
perform.
many times,
Yeah.
you know, and
But like, I'm much more scared giving like a best man speech than I am performing in front of like 30,000 people.
Totally.
Like,
I think that
10
makes
times.
sense, though.
Yeah.
Isn't there a thing Dave Chappelle does where he only performs in front of like 4 people in a room before
Oh,
he does
really?
it? I think I've heard that. And
That's
it's
kinda
10
cool.
times harder
Yeah,
to
yeah.
perform in front
Yeah.
of like 3 people
Yeah.
than a crowd.
That
Have
makes
you done a
sense.
best man speech recently?
Not that recently, but I killed it. I murdered it, my speech. Because you always got to, the way you start a best man speech, and someone tipped me off is you just insult the guy who spoke before you right off the bat.
Oh, that's good.
So you like
Yeah.
give it up for John. He did his best. And then everyone immediately is like, ha ha, you know? And
Oh,
then you're
that's
like, and then you
great.
can launch into whatever.
so I tried that. My sister got married like the summer before last, and I tried that trick because Alex had just killed this best man speech. He was telling me how good he did, and then you like, oh, you tried your best, but I said it to like my like female cousin, and it like really hurt her feelings.
She's like sobbing in
Yeah,
the
she
corner,
was
like,
like,
fuck
and
you,
then she
Drew.
like came over, she's like, do we have beef on something? I was like, I don't know. I just heard it was a good thing to say. Like,
And you just fucked
you did
it all up.
you had a great speech. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was really heartfelt.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to meet in Miami.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we were supposed to meet like so long ago. It's weird that we have never met.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
I
glad
agree.
that didn't happen,
why?
given the nature of like it's just such a shit show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every morning was like a way too late, and
Okay, wait. I want to
Yeah.
ask you guys because I was going to say, what did I miss in Miami? Because to give people context, we were supposed to do this interview in Miami.
Yeah.
I got sick. Maybe I was faking. Maybe I was. No, I'm just kidding. I was sick.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
couldn't make it.
Either way,
What did I miss?
Didn't
What did you
happen.
guys? What
we
did you
definitely
guys do?
thought about it if you were.
it's such a
able to.
shit
I
show. I used to be like a receptionist in an art gallery, and
Oh.
I would go to Basel. This is like 15 years ago, and you would go to Basel, and it was like one party, the Liberal party, and then it was actually just like collectors and people that worked in the art world, and it was like really fun, but like really manageable. And now, like I don't know where the art people are. I don't see them at all, and it's just like craziness, and there's so much shit, and everyone's has FOMO, and you know, like I remember being at, I think it was like like Miles and Kygo and those guys.
Yes.
They had a party, and it was like awesome. It was like Black Coffee was DJing. There was an open bar. It was a bunch of friends, and then everyone's like, "We got to go to this Bob's party." And I was like, "But why?" I was like, "This is great here. Everything's great." And they're like, "No, it's better over there for sure." And I was like, "I feel like the people over there are saying that this is
Same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everyone's like chasing the night. It's like
Yeah.
fashion week. It's like we have to go to 10 events, and it's like, I
Right.
feel like this party's kind of dope. Like, let's
yeah.
chill.
Why can't we just stay here? And it's just like you're constantly missing and feeling like you're, in reality, it's like none of it's true.
So, how did you guys meet? You guys have been together for 10 years. This is a
Yeah.
thriving relationship. Drew, how did you guys meet?
We met. I was finishing school in 2012, 2011, and Alex had actually started Chainsmokers with another kid. So I'm not the original Chainsmoker.
Oh my God, where's he?
He's a dog walker.
Well, that was last time
I'm
we
not.
checked.
Fuck this is. Hope he doesn't watch the show.
Shout out. Okay, so there was an OG,
Yeah.
and then you came in and swapped.
Well, from my understanding, the other kid wanted to go and do his own like solo career, and Alex was like, "What the fuck?" Like, we built this whole thing up, and
It wasn't much, by the way. It was like DJing and like SL. You know what I mean?
But it was
something.
yeah. And I like knew how to make music, like pretty shitty music, but I like was really into it. And then we met, and the other kid left, and he was like, I want to find someone who like makes music, and we got introduced by our manager, our current manager, who's still with us to this day, and yeah, rest is history.
Did you guys like immediately hit it off vibe-wise,
Yeah.
personality-wise?
Didn't you have a funny like you didn't know which one?
Oh my God! So I go to New York City. I take like the Feng Hua bus. You know about this? Yeah. It's like $13 bus that goes from like Boston to Chinatown. So I take that thing down there. And I like go and meet them at this club, but I didn't know. I knew there were two guys in Chainsmokers, and they were both there, and I didn't know which was which. And I remember just going to the club and meeting and both of y'all, and I was just like, oh God, I hope it's Alex. The other kid was okay, but I really hope it's Alex. And thank God he texted me. And I didn't even know because he texted me the next day and was like, come over to my apartment. And not until you opened the door to your apartment did I have confirmation it was you.
It's like a blind date. And it was like, what do you listen to? And it was like, I like Calvin Harris. It was like, me too. You know, what kind of beer do you drink? And it was like, but like in reality, what was really crazy, and we did have this like conversation the first time we met, was, you know, we were like, what do you want to accomplish and how do you want to get there? And we were like, both of us were like, we want to be the biggest, you know, artists on the planet, and we'll do whatever it takes to get there from like a work perspective. And then I want to branch out from there and create and use that platform to like get into other things that interest us. And, you know, it's like kind of crazy now to reflect back on that, because like we had no fucking idea back then. It was like literally like, cool, let's do this then. And then he moved down from, you know, Maine, and I like quit my receptionist job, and they were like, are you crazy? It's like a recession right now. Like, you want to, you know, like go be a musician full time? And they were like, listen, we'll have you back, you know, when this fails. And now it's like nuts. Like I buy art from them, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's so crazy, because it's kind of like a love story, honestly. We're like, you've been together for 10 years. You guys met on a blind date. Like, and then you ended up being in front of him, and you were like, I really hope it's him and not the other one. And then you guys got matched up, and you made
romantic.
this like
It is quite romantic.
perfect situation. Like, it all worked out. So, okay, to people that are watching, I want them to like get to know you guys better individually through each other's eyes.
Should I leave the room?
No, okay. Because you guys are a couple.
Yeah.
But I want to hear. Let's start with Alex. How would you describe Drew to someone that doesn't know him?
So he likes to go like deeper with things, and I'm like, I don't want to say I'm surface level, but I like to cover a lot more ground. He is like the least communicative person on the planet. In fact, like, I think I like text Madison Beer about a song yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, it's Alex. I got your number from Drew because he sucks at texting." So like, I'm gonna, and it's not that like he doesn't care. He just does. I don't know what. Actually, I don't know
What goes on in my head?
Yeah, like you see it, and you're just like, you know what I mean? And you just like move on.
Exactly
Like, are you quiet? What do you mean you're not communicative? Like,
Well,
you
I
don't talk-
read things, but Alex is also hyper communicative. So a lot of these conversations that like I'm on an email or I'm on a text thread, he's already said what I would have said. So
True.
you
Do
know,
you guys
he's-
find yourself on the same page a lot?
Yeah, most of the time.
yeah, we're completely aligned, like in like goals and all that stuff.
We've had our disputes, but it's always like, you know, reconciled in a really like reasonable way.
You did walk into my house and say that you guys have gotten into multiple fist fights and punched each other.
Not in a couple of years though.
Yeah, it's been a couple,
Okay,
which
you
might
don't
be.
know.
We mean we're due for one.
Yeah.
but it's been.
So you guys are just fighting over like regular shit, but you guys have an ability.
the
It's
first
like
one.
sibling fights, you know, where you're
First
just
one's like a
together all the
front seat,
time.
like over a
Yeah.
front seat in like Mexico, like 8
Yeah,
years
I don't
ago.
remember even being mad at you. I think that was just
Yeah,
we
we
were
just
like,
did
hey,
that.
we've never fought.
Another
All right,
time
let's
was
fight.
in what's that Mallorca at a club.
That was bad. You know, it wasn't just that. He had been pissing me off for a while, you know, and I'm sure I've been pissing him off for a while, you know, and then it just gets to that one moment
Yeah, it was.
where he just
building.
does the one thing, and I lost.
And then-
I initiate, I think, every fight. I
Wow,
also
so are you hot-headed?
not anymore, but I definitely was.
You worked on it.
No, yeah,
worked
I
on
worked
it.
therapy and stuff.
Oh, you've gone to therapy.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone to therapy together?
No, we've considered doing like executive coaching, but not therapy.
Maybe couples therapy is the move.
Well, now I feel like really.
Yeah, we don't have like.
Issue.
Yeah.
issues, really.
Yeah.
You think that, but
Until you
as
dig in.
as a
Yeah, I
woman
don't-
that's
I
standing
don't
here
either.
that used to have being a duo,
Did you go to couple
Yeah.
therapy when you?
No, but we should have, apparently. You can always get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Drew, now you describe Alex's personality.
He's hilarious. Like sometimes I'll just be like making a drink and we'll be, you know, or just talking to somebody and I'll just overhear him just say the most outlandish thing to people. I don't know where it comes from. He also has like
filter.
no filter, and also the most insane memory. Like he will like remember. Like we meet so many people every weekend. We've been doing 150 shows a year for the past 7 years, probably, sometimes more even. And a lot of those are in Vegas, where we're like hosting people for our tequila or our venture fund or people that we've just accumulated along the years. And someone will walk in and he'll remember, like, I will be like, I recognize this guy's face. I can't place it. He'll remember that their kids are in tennis lessons.
Holy Holy.
It's insane.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So he's a good person to have next to you because I'm you where I'm
Yeah.
like, I fucking know that face,
Yeah.
but I couldn't even tell you the name if you put a gun to my head. And you're like, oh, it's this person. They have this many kids. This is the address.
But then I'm the one that's like, all right, I'm kind of like done this tonight. And Drew would be like, I just like stayed up till 6 a.m. with that guy. And now we're like, like brothers. And so it's like,
I go deep with like one person or three people or
Interesting.
whatever. Yeah.
This is helpful.
I'm
So
definitely
good.
like way more like, I don't know what the word is. I guess it just depends.
You're a surface level bitch.
Yeah.
And Drew is just
But
in
he's
his
like,
field.
I don't know if anyone texts any more people than you per day.
What?
Yeah.
He's like talking to like, the
can't
head of
leave
some
people
like
on
massive
red.
like hedge fund, and he's talking to like the bartender from the Dueling Piano Bar in St. Louis that we played on a Wednesday night in 2013.
It's definitely like an OCD
it's crazy
thing, for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, and you're not answering your text at all.
Exactly.
Okay, good
Yeah.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I've
okay.
fully taken advantage of his powers.
That's really great.
Yeah.
What are your fans like?
Passive and chill. We have like the most like relaxed, nice fans ever. Like,
Yeah.
like we could just sit at like anywhere, and like I think we have like a really nice level of like celebrity or fame, we want to call it, because like maybe some people recognize us. Usually, it's like they have to pull their phone out to like confirm the sighting,
And so
by the
they'll do
time
that-
they
they'll
do
do
that,
the-
we're gone. You know,
Know them and move on.
or they'll
Yeah,
just
it's
come
great.
up and be like, "Hey, big fan." And then it's like dip out. You know what I mean? Like we don't have like any like rabid,
Craziness.
crazy story. I've told this fake story for like years about, because we didn't have a crazy fake fan story, and that was like what people always asked us. So I just came up with one.
Tell me.
And I lied about it for like 7 years, and I became so good at telling it. I haven't told it in a while, but basically it was the story about we played a show in Italy, and there was this fan in the front row that was like dead, stone cold staring at both of us, and it was like really awkward. And then in the middle of the show, she pulls out like a buzzer and just starts shaving her head, but like not changing her reaction. And then she starts eating her hair. And then we're like freaking out, and we're like losing our focus. And then she just kind of just like disappears into the crowd. And
That's
Hold
the
on.
story.
And then-
And no one was like, huh?
And
We
then
were like,
Who
wow,
did
that's cool.
he told us in every interview. It made it all the way to
Larry King.
Larry King. He told Larry King this
And
story.
what the fuck are you? Did you guys coordinate this, or did one day he just spring this in an interview and you were like,
he just made it up one day, and we just kept going with it. Yeah.
and you didn't say anything?
No.
It was just easier
nodded.
than
Yeah.
the like I just didn't have one, and I just wanted to
Right.
just go along.
I
with
wanted
it.
an awesome story.
Yeah.
Do you have one now? Is there like a crazy fan interaction you can now tell, or no?
Fans are so pleasant and passive. They're just like,
No, that's
If you're
fine.
any fans out there want to do something crazy,
Yeah, like get after it.
yeah, go for it.
I
Yeah.
think you're very fortunate though to have.
Do you
the
have
job
crazy fans? Like girls go to
Yeah, like
girls-
I have some crazy interactions I've had. Like
Are girls crazier or guys crazier for you?
it's a different vibe. The guys are always Barstool fans, so they're like Cooper, and I'm like, oh my god, and they'll like bear hug me, and I'm like, hello, sir, and it's very like.
Have you ever hooked up
bro-y.
with a fan?
No, because most of my fans are women, but I have had multiple.
Barstool guys are like,
No, I'm like, oh, like you go hook up with Dave. I've had multiple times where like a fan will chase me down and like give me a vibrator or like just
Wow,
something
yeah.
very, and like I still use it to this day, and I think of her like
Yeah.
it's very cute. Like, but I would say my fans are kind of similar. They're very chill, very passionate, but they're open books to me, and like we
Yeah.
have like very cute interactions.
A podcast is very different because you're
Yeah.
speaking about yourself so much and getting deeper into yourself by talking about with other people. You see reflection and all that stuff. Like us, they just hear our music, and we're just two generic white guys. So they know the music, but it doesn't
Right.
go beyond that,
But that's why it's fun to sit down with you guys. You would probably be great on a podcast. You want to get deep.
I'm definitely gonna launch a podcast one day.
I'm,
for sure.
I'm waiting
It's
for
I just
Alex's
need more time,
podcast.
but it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I could see you guys doing a pod.
It's gonna be dark and dangerous.
Oh my
I won't.
god!
Maybe that's
I'm
the
not
name.
going to be there.
You don't want to be on it?
I don't have the.
It's gonna be
I'm
controversial.
not consistent enough to do it.
Okay,
but
great. You don't have to work at that.
His is going to
Good
be
to
like,
know.
yeah.
It's
he's
gonna
got
be good.
stories. This
It'll be
man.
good.
I'll listen.
One day.
Maybe. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Uber Eats. Okay, Daddy Gang, we all know Uber Eats has the best selection of local restaurants, but did you know they also eat when it comes to a whole range of delivery services? Now, that might be a lot to take in, so let's break it down, okay? Uber Eats isn't just for locked-in salad bowl lunches or pre-gaming with Ty. When you can't make it to the store, you can just get about
anything you need delivered straight to your door with Uber Eats. Right now, you could be checking off your whole shopping list, okay? Of course, I'm locked in on Uber Eats when it comes to getting my lunchtime sandwiches or a good delicious meal after work. But say I need a little cocktail at the end of the day. Uber Eats is my go-to spot to get all of the ingredients I need sent to my door. I also use Uber Eats for pretty much everything: paper towels, groceries, snacks. I even order a pair of flip-flops to the nail salon, okay? They've got my back no matter where I am. When you can't make it to the store, Uber Eats brings you the store, essentially, okay? There is nothing better than putting on a good show, getting cozy on the couch, and having the perfect meal delivered right to me, along with 5 other things that I forgot to pick up that day. Uber Eats makes it easy to have it all. Get grocery, alcohol, and everyday essentials in addition to the restaurant food you love. So in other words, get almost anything with Uber Eats. Order now. For alcohol, you must be legal drinking age. Please enjoy responsibly. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Okay, Alex, take me through your guys' like pre-show rituals and like how has it evolved over time?
It not much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not like, I feel like the thing about for us at these shows is like you don't want to like build up too much like tension and pressure. It's almost like do the least and just like, oh, it's just like a normal day that happens to have like a huge performance at the end of it. So like the more that like when we have big shows and like our whole team's there and there were lots of friends, it's like almost like builds up more anxiety because everyone's like asking you like, are you nervous? Like, are you excited? How you feeling? Like you just feel more tension around you. So for us, it's like, you know, a warm up, like drinking some tequila backstage, like maybe work out earlier in the day or something like that. We have like a simple pre-ritual handshake and it's like gay time. But I feel like less.
Can you do it right now?
Yeah, it's that. And it's just like
oh, wow.
super simple. Yeah, you can learn
really
it.
simple.
Yeah.
I should
More like
remember
it's a
that.
superstitious thing that you have to do it.
When you guys are getting nervous for a show, do you guys really lean on each other or do you guys go kind of like individual mode, like I like just like sit there individually and deal with your stress?
I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we don't share necessarily like how nervous you are because that probably just makes everyone more nervous. But I think, you know, like in the case of like Vegas, I mean, this is a weird example, but like if I'm exhausted and you can see it, like he'll step up and go harder and like vice versa, or, you know what I mean? In that sense. Yeah. So you can kind of tell when someone needs like, like needs like, okay, like, he's just clearly like, you know, sick right now, or like we do play sick all the time. I think we've only canceled one show ever. And holy, you know, shit. And you're just like, all right, I'm going to pick up the slack and like give it a little bit extra today. So that, like, cause he clearly just, you know, is struggling.
This is a real team unit here. I'm really liking the vibe.
It's very cool. It really is cool. Like, it's like, you know, the same way I feel like when girls can like look at each other and like communicate like everything. And then guys are just sitting there clueless about what just happened.
Right. You guys are the ones insane.
Yeah. And they're like, we should probably go. And you're like, what did you just say to her? You know what I mean? And it's like,
that's such a specific and so fucking relatable of just being like, yeah, we're actually going to go. And you guys are like, excuse me? That was a good example.
Yeah.
So in 2019, you guys, after a tour, went off of like the grid and you kind of went on a hiatus. What the fuck happened? How did you come to this decision? Tell me about it.
Well, we just felt really burnt out after 2019. I mean, I told you we've been doing like 150 shows a year. We had just like released our 3rd album in the fall of 2019, and then we did a 42 city arena tour with 5 Sauce, and we just got home. We're like, never again. Like that was just too much after like a whole summer of like back and forth from Vegas to Europe every week.
There's 2 people that are making the decisions. How do you guys balance what's good for you individually and then what's good for the Chainsmokers?
I mean, we've been pretty on the same page in our personal lives. Like we made a lot of sacrifices, and this is a big thing that we've been talking with our team about now that we're in our 30s, like well into our 30s, and it's harder, you know, and there's we haven't gone to a lot of weddings. We haven't been here on weekends ever. You know, we sacrifice our weeks just, you know, like last week, 2 days were just erased being on a plane, you know? And so I think we've been really aligned on that thus far. You know, we've just been trying to get it and be successful and do our thing and not leave anything on the table. And I'm really thankful that we took that approach. But I mean, going forward, we definitely will have to be more communicative about like, hey, I don't want to be in LA this much, or I don't want to go to Vegas this much, or I don't want to do, and who knows what that's going to be, but like our lives are changing. So that's like a new hurdle that's probably coming for us.
Yeah, it's tough because I think you got to balance, like, you can't forget like how lucky we are to be in this position to begin with. And it's like, I see so many people like taking advantage of that opportunity and letting it just slip between their fingers because they think it's just like, it's hard work. Like, there are people, hundreds, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people out there that are trying to do what we do, and they're working 3 times as hard as we are potentially. So I think like we've always had that like grit and determination. Like, we might not always be the best at the certain things we do, but like I know we apply ourselves and work harder than most people at the things we care about. So I think it's ingrained in like the fabric of our personalities, which is like we're super competitive. Like, we want to be the best. We want to get the best out of ourselves. Yeah. And we also like, I feel like if I just ran into you somewhere in the street and you were like, hey, you know, oh my God, like, do you feel accomplished everything? I would say like, absolutely not. Like, we have like very heavy imposter syndrome. So for us, it's like we feel like we're just kind of also getting started and have so much more to do and say from what this, you know, chapter is. But you also, you know, like, you do want to start thinking about the other things in life that like you possibly can get joy out of, because it's like these are probably all like really unhealthy character traits that like lead to, you know, a life looking back at like 70 being like, oh my God, like,
what the fuck did you do?
I took like 3 vacations. Chased the carrot all the way here.
Yeah, exactly. But also there's like a balance where like you can really potentially accomplish really amazing things.
I get what you're saying, but it's interesting to hear you because like I feel like there's so many people that have success and you're so scared to be like wanting the normal things that come with life, that you're like, I haven't been to a wedding in a while. Like, I wasn't in LA for like a weekend, just like chill. And you can, in your mind, you're like, am I being ungrateful? Like, am I coming off like I don't appreciate what I have? But I do think like, I understand what you're saying of like, there needs to be sometimes a better balance, but that also is fucking weird because again, I've been in a duo where it's like, inevitably you both have different wants for like your personal life, right? Like maybe you have a different plan of like, do you both want kids? Do you not want kids? Do you want to get married? And so like you kind of have to stay somewhat on the same page. Like, how do you guys navigate that?
It just worked out kind of in some weird way. I mean, we are very communicative about those things, and I think like we want the happiness of the other person. So it's like, you know, we've gotten this far. I don't think we were like, we wanted, you know, we've always been aligned on the goals we wanted to get and how to achieve them. Like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, as you get older, you're kind of like, hey, I recognize like all of our friends, like all my friends are married with kids. Like, I'm probably the last person other than like our agent.
But do you guys feel like, because it's interesting, like to have your job, which is partying and performing and like making people have such a good time, do you feel like people or maybe like media has kind of pigeonholed you into being the same people you were 10 years ago?
I mean, we have a great relationship with the media and press. Like, absolutely not.
You said that so serious at first. I was like, really, Alex? Oh my God. No, talk about that.
Just glowing reviews.
How did it evolve of like who the Chainsmokers started as from your opinion and who you guys are now?
Yeah, I mean, we were just ultimately huge. That opinion about like the being pigeonholed, I think was DJ or EDM as a whole. You know, we came up in this like super party centric, very drug centric like scene. You know, that's like kind of pop probably I'd say like 2016. But that was like that was a wave that we rode to like relevancy, I guess.
We were young, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you make mistakes, and I think, you know, much to our, you know, regret, like we've grown up a ton and like there's a lot of things we regret doing, but I think it's just like a natural progression for anyone. I think there are a lot of mistakes we avoided too by like, I think we kind of were lucky. We both went to college and graduated and like didn't have like success at 18 and become super rich and that stuff. Like, we understand the value of a dollar and like working in shitty jobs and doing, you know, putting in the time.
I can relate to that. Like, I feel like I had obviously like a very specific persona when I started this. It was like the sex girl. Yeah. That's the blonde that works at Barstool. And it was like, I definitely played into what I was given and the platform that I was kind of like going with. Yeah. But then it can get exhausting and be like, hey guys, like, I don't party like every night. And like, I don't like have sex every single day, like 24/7. Like, so I think I can relate to you guys on being like, I appreciate how we came up, but like we've evolved. Like we definitely have certain things that are different about us, that it's not just party, drugs, perform, fuck girls and go to sleep. Not to get too deep, but like on more of a personal level, how have each of you like individually, I'll start with you, Drew, like evolved as a human being since the beginning of the success and everything took off to where you are now?
I've calmed down a lot. I used to be hyper insecure, and I'm still have insecurities, but like so much so that like it drove me, and I'm almost thankful for it. And I always like had this like thing inside me that wanted to be successful and just kind of, you know, do everything but be friends with everybody. And, you know, I had this like idea, and I was always chasing that, and I was always worried that I was never going to do it. And I feel like that like probably like negatively impacted some like relationships I had early, like through college. I just didn't, you know, I was so focused on what I was doing. And I wasn't able to be like generous, or I didn't have the, you know, the mindset to like be the person that I am now that I really appreciate. And I'd say that's probably the biggest thing is, you know, I've really enjoyed just being calm and appreciative and being able to like, you know, help people with opportunities that,
He
you know,
really is insanely generous to everybody and hosting people. It's actually crazy how,
Really?
Yeah,
House is like a hostel.
Yeah.
You live in a hostel or you host a hostel? Because are you kind of saying like in romantic relationships, or I guess even friendships, like you couldn't be as present and giving because you were trying to be selfish because you were trying to make something for yourself?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
I don't know. I was trying to think of a good, like, reasonable answer to this while he was talking.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I guess if I could like reflect further back, I mean, my dad passed away when I was like 12 and a half or something like that. And I think that was like a very defining moment, because I remember a lot of people coming to me and being like, there's two paths, you know, you can kind of go that like fucked up route where you lose a parent and everything kind of spirals out of control from there, or you kind of use this as like a moment to catalyze like how you want to live your life. And I was always like an average student and had like terrible ADHD. And I don't remember, like at some point in like late in high school, I don't know if I just started making lists, like really something simple of that. It was like writing the things down that I wanted to accomplish and do
God, this
each
kid's
day.
lists.
You write a
And
lot of
it just like something changed. And I do feel like, you know, in a lot of ways, like in college, you know, when I graduated, I was a receptionist art gallery, like not a very like awesome position to have, like and I was not a good one at that. And then also like a DJ. And I think about like my mom and my friends that were all becoming like doctors and Wall Street finance people and lawyers. And it was kind of like crippling anxiety of being like, I can barely take care of myself. Like, who would ever want to be with me? Like, how could I ever have a family? Like, I literally am like stealing quarters from my roommate to get like Boston Market. And
Boston
I mean,
Market's
like,
great.
yeah, and he had a lot of quarters, so I didn't feel bad. and just like, you know, and it was like crazy. So like when to see like us kind of materialize this thing, it was like, holy shit. Like, I actually, for the first time ever, like can take like a deep breath on some way and be like, things might actually be okay for me and work out. And I'm just super proud of like the things we've accomplished over the years, and it just really motivates me to want to like just push it further and further.
Well, I appreciate you both sharing that, because it is interesting to hear individually, and it now makes sense to me how you guys work so well together. That's why I was kind of trying to like get, and I still want to keep going just individual to then get back to the whole, because it's interesting. I feel like both of you had such like a drive internally wanting to make it. I'm interested to know like how has that affected your like relationships for you romantically, because the Chainsmokers has to be priority. How has that affected your guys' relationships?
That's been, I realized like looking back as hindsight's 2020, like a lot of the people I dated, I had to date someone that was down with what we were doing, which was really fun. I had a lot of awesome relationships that like were seriously fulfilling and fun. I think only in the past like couple years have I like realized that probably the person that's like down to do they have to be down to do some stuff, but the person who's down to do everything is probably not the one I'm supposed to be with. I need someone that has their own thing that I have to go be a part of and want to go be a part of. But before that, it's been, you know, I realized my selection has been very congruent with like what served our business, you know, and we work really hard, and I think we're both now really actively, I mean, you for a little bit longer than me, like really trying to break out of our own heads and have perspective and be like, wait, this week is so intense. Wait, every week's intense. And if every week's intense, then I need to figure out a better way to deal with it because what am I chasing,
Yeah. Have either of you ever gone through a breakup that the catalyst was kind of like, this isn't working for our life right now as the Chainsmokers, like this relationship isn't working for us, essentially?
I mean, I don't think we have influence. I feel like that's one of those funny things. Like, you could not like someone's girlfriend, but like, you don't say that shit. You know what I mean? Like, out of the blue. Like, if he's upset about something, then it's an opportunity to speak. You know what I mean?
Hate her.
But don't be like, yo, I hate your chick. And you're just like, great, well, you want to go to dinner like tomorrow night, all of us?
Date?
Yeah, double date. Yeah. And not that like that's ever even been the case, but like, I think, like everyone's on their own journey through these things. And I don't know like all the intricacies of what like he loves or, about someone and vice versa. I think, again, like why we've never lived together, like certain things are good to be, kept separate. But like more importantly, it's just like you can tell when the other person is suffering as a result of the relationship. And it's like a delicate balance of being like, you got to let them get there themselves. You can't force someone to see that truth. You know what I mean?
I get that.
But like also at the same time, it's like, it's tough when that's happening because you do feel it like potentially affecting, the business. But you're like, but again, it's like there are bigger things at play here. So like, again, like the ego doesn't come in the check and you're not like busting in the studio being like, your fucking songwriting sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you so depressed all the time? And, we're not making music and
songwriting sucks these days.
Although I'm sure heartbreak.
So you're too happy in your relationship.
It's a great catalyst.
Yeah.
That is like, that's toxic though, because I had sometimes where I was like, I'll just go on the date because it's going to give me great content. And I was like,
it's like things aren't going well. You're like,
you're like, let's go. This song is going to be fucking killer. He's like, Drew, be so depressed, get broken up with, like do something and then get in the fucking studio. So you said you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
How long have you been in a relationship?
About 3 years, maybe a little longer, 3.5. Yeah. She's
How's
great.
That going?
Really good. I mean, she's amazing. And I think to like his point, what he said, like you kind of acknowledge somehow, I feel like a lot of the people you date are kind of a reaction to the last person in some ways, like looking for things that were missing or didn't fulfill you in some capacity. And you kind of like stumble along potentially until you kind of unlock something where you're like, oh, I get what I really need now out of this.
You guys have very full lives and like you're public and, I feel like you need someone that's not just like up your ass being like, Drew and Alex, like, I'll do whatever you want. It's like, I'm sure at times that's worked because you need someone that's going to be doing that. But in an actual relationship, the person needs to be like, hey, it's not all about you.
Yeah, and you don't just...
Like, I have a life too.
You just don't fucking know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really sympathize, like, with single people and people in bad relationships. And, like, it's not easy.
What about you, Drew? Single, relationship?
I'm in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like fairly new, a couple months.
It's exciting. How did you guys meet?
We got set up on a date a year ago.
Fun.
And it was the worst date either of us had ever been on.
Not fun.
Yeah, it was just like zero vibes, just misconnection, and didn't see each other for I think like 6 months after that. And then last summer just kept running into each other, and then the bad date became like a fun conversation point. And we like hit it off on like the 4th of July, and then started hanging out then ish in August, and then started dating I guess like September probably.
Look at the two of you just in like your healthy dynamics.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever not liked the other person's partner?
For sure. Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
How did you handle it?
I think Alex kind of touched on it earlier where you can't say, yo, this is like not right for you out of context.
Right.
It has to be, something has to happen, and one of us comes to the other and
Then
says...
But
yeah.
I mean, like, and you're always like hoping to be like, he'll understand when.
And we've all seen it now. We're like so intimate with our entire crew. We've seen like every, like from our tour manager to our drummer to our like our agent. We've seen them all date the wrong person, and like we've all taken our like little trip down that road.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when it's happening to somebody else, you're like, that's never gonna happen to me. And then it shows up in a different format.
Yeah.
And
You're
boom,
like,
it happens to you. Yeah.
And while you're in that format, it's like, you're like, yo, fucking, they hate her. And but
you're
you're like,
this isn't right.
But you're like, they just don't know her yet. Like, I know her. And then you're like, no, they do really know her, and I'm just wrong about this.
Like, that's the worst when you're in a relationship where when you find yourself saying that, if anyone is watching this and you're like, they just don't get it, that's probably the first red flag to be like, no, they get it, you don't fucking get it.
And that's the thing. It's like you look back at a lot of relationships, and you can blame the other person. It wasn't a match. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't. It's not them. It's not you.
I have great breakup stories. I mean, there's all sorts of awesome things.
Do you want to
can
share?
tell anonymously? I mean, should I give the ultimate one?
Give something. You guys are saying
I'm
a
not gonna
little
name
lightly
names.
serving.
Give the pet cam.
Yeah, the pack game's good.
Yeah.
Give it
Is that,
to me.
is that the ultimate one?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Okay,
yeah,
give it to
ultimate
me.
one.
Yeah.
It is officially the holiday season, which means back-to-back parties, hitting up your hometown bar, and squeezing in every second with your favorite people. And that, ladies and gentlemen, calls for bringing a White Claw variety pack to every party this holiday season. My personal favorite is black cherry, but I've learned you gotta have something for everybody, right? My brother loves the raspberry. My sister is obsessed with the natural lime. So whatever celebrations you've got on the calendar this year, just grab a White Claw variety pack and make it a moment everyone is going to enjoy. My absolute favorite part of the holiday season is always the night before Thanksgiving, when it's just me and my siblings and our significant others all hanging out before the rest of our family arrives. And I always bring a White Claw variety pack, cheersing with a White Claw. It just gets everyone in the mood to laugh and have fun together. So pick up a pack from your favorite local spot and grab life by the claw with your favorite flavor this holiday season. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, so I was seeing somebody, and over the course of the relationship, it was just like all these fights kept happening that I didn't really like understand why. Like I would just get like a text when we were like on tour and be like, "You're a fucking asshole," and I'd be like, I don't know what I could have possibly have just done. And it would be like, what you did. And I'd be like, no, that's why I'm asking you. What did I do? And it was just like, and then she would like disappear for 2 days. And it was just like the most and you're just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And one day I've lived, my friend of mine, Craig, he's like an ex-firefighter. And, he's kind of he's like Uncle Craig, and
Uncle Craig.
Yeah, he's a very Uncle Craig.
And I forgot how we got in a fight about something, and I was like, and it was a sort of thing where I was like, when we were, it's like looking through Instagram and being like, oh damn, that girl's like super hot, man, I'd be like, I wish on a star, and and then the girlfriend would be like, what the fuck did you say?
That's not what we say. I wish on a star. It's not what we say.
Yeah. It's a really PC way of,
I wish on a star.
I wish on a star I could
hang out with that beautiful, nice, smart woman.
Yeah. But it's like guy talk where you'll be like, damn, that girl's, ass is amazing or whatever. And then like I got lit up about this, and I like I went to Craig and I was like, Craig, did you fucking tell her that we were saying it? Like, we're just like talking about this, how hot this girl is. And he was like, of course not. I'm kidding me. Why would I do that? And I was like, how else would she have known? Like, this is just weird. And it was like in passing, and he was just like, house is bugged, dude. And I was like, nah. And so anyways, these fights kept happening. And then on my birthday, the girl was like, I'm going to Cannes because I don't work in the film industry, but it's really important that I go. And which I totally related and understood. And,
totally.
And,
she needed to go.
And so she left, and like, and she was pissed at me, like disappeared, didn't say bye. And it was like, I think she was going for like a few weeks. And I was like, damn, what a shitty way to leave on that note. But I was like, all right, fuck it. And I was
you were really annoying on that birthday. You got really drunk.
I did get really drunk. I tried to fight the Elefante door guy.
Yeah.
Oh, not the Elefante door guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's so nice.
I had to give him $100.
Yeah.
But you were just pissed. You were in a bad place.
No, I was just hammered. I mean, it didn't even
Okay.
have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
I was just a drunk guy.
Yeah.
And
her leaving had nothing to do with you being drunk too.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
And so my mom hated her. My sister hated her. Everyone didn't like her at this point.
You hated her, Drew.
I definitely hated her. And at this point, I was like, I think I probably should call this soon. Like I was beginning to get those vibes, but I was also like, I'm such an optimist, like it's hard for me to kind of like pull that rug out. So anyway, she bounces, and then I'm like sitting at like my table in my kitchen, and I just kind of see this thing out of the corner of my eye that wasn't there like a day ago. And basically like 2 Exes ago had bought me this dog pet treat camera where you can like shoot treats out of it, and it's like motion sensor recording
these
camera.
things?
Yes.
And so the dog walks up to it, and
Yes.
the camera turns on and alerts your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, and you shoot a treat out. And so I'd gotten this gift, and I never set it up because it was just kind of just complicated, and we were just busy all the time and whatever. And but one day it was like sitting on this table, and I was like, oh, that's kind of odd that it's out, but like it's not for a dog. My dog's not getting any treats, so surely this thing's not hooked up. And it's plugged into like the outlet, and I was like, I guess my housekeeper saw this like hanging wire and was like, let me plug it in.
Such an
So I
optimist.
unplug it and like plug, I'm a Juul smoker, so I was like, it's the only outlet for my Juul, so I would plug it. And this went on for like in my head, looking back, months, I was like, I kept unplugging this thing. And then one day I was like sick of like unplugging it and plugging it back in, that I was like, I'm picking this thing and putting it in a drawer, and this is annoying. Why is this out?
Right.
And this is like when she left for Ken, but miraculously the thing is like back on the table now. And then it was like the Matrix. It was like, oh my God, I've been getting spied on for like 7 months by this fucking pet camera. And I get up close to it, and she had like blacked out the recording light, like really
with a marker,
a marker, and then covered it with an additional piece of electrical tape, perfectly cut out, that you would never have noticed it.
This bitch is genius.
And I was like, Greg! I was like, we got her! You know what I mean?
And we went on the security cameras, and there's video of like she like walks downstairs into the kitchen, notices the camera's like unplugged, goes over, opens a cabinet. So she's already scouted the actual house security cameras. Yeah. She like looks up, opens the door, does something like behind the door for like a weirdly long time, and then closes it and leaves, and then the thing's plugged in.
Yeah, and so
it's crazy,
and so it was wild. And so I was like, how do we like broach this? Like,
how do you confront her?
I was like, it's red-handed. You know what I mean? There's no like doubt in my mind now.
Right.
It's like sometimes like you'd be like, oh, so and so saw you at the club, like we this girl, and you're like, I don't know who to believe, like. This was like, I fucking got your ass, like 100%. And so I was like, we can do a couple of things right now. We can like play along with this, and like maybe I get like a fake ring, and then like tell Craig I'm gonna like propose and like do
and get her to admit it.
And get her to like see it on the camera, and then but never like bring it up, and just leave her in this like suspenseful while she's watching from Ken. You know what I mean?
I love it.
But then I was like, fuck, I kind of want to just be single and have fun.
Yeah.
This fucking camera
and we were like,
house.
please just get to that phase.
Yeah. So I just like called her up, and I was just like, I
got you.
And she was like so angry. She's like, what? And I was like, you tell me. I found a camera in my house that you've been spying me on. And she was like, you're fucking crazy and this. I was like, it's not, we don't have to fight.
It's so genius, the fact that like she got an alert every time like at 3 a.m. that him and Craig are sitting at the front table having guys talk.
Yeah.
So she
That's
watched all
so
of his like late
fucked.
night conversations.
It'd be like, what did you say about like, so-and-so? And you'd be like, I don't understand. Like, I've never even talked to this girl before. It's like an Instagram person that like, or he brings up.
That is so epic.
It was epic.
And truly so genius and
It is.
so
So
fucked
genius.
up.
It is.
Yeah.
You got to give her credit.
I
Like,
give her credit only if I was like in a position where like she thought you were being super shady and she wanted to catch you. But after
I was like totally, I was
Never
like
did.
totally
You were
good
a
boy.
saint.
Yeah.
You were a saint.
No,
I
actually,
really was.
like
I really was in this one. Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's like that's almost like if you get someone's iPad or you get a way to like look at their shit, you have to stop eventually.
We wrote
then
a
you're
song
just,
about that.
You did?
Yeah, it's called iPad.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You guys did. Oh wow. Was it? It wasn't about that.
No.
It's
You
about
should
going
make one
through the
about
iPad.
the.
Yeah.
It's about what?
You know why you go through the iPad, right?
I've been through the iPad before.
Because if you go through the phone, they delete text, but
Yes.
it comes up on the iMessage on the iPad.
Oh, I've been in the
She
situation
gets
where
it.
I literally
Great,
handed
good.
him the
Yeah.
This is a
iPad and
relevant
said, "Open
demographic
it right
for-
now."
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he showed
He
me
just
his phone.
smashes it.
I'm like, your phone looks so beautiful. It's like your mom and your aunt and me and your grandma. Open the fucking iPad, you piece of shit. And all of the sex and stuff. I was like, wow.
I was just like, yo, if you put on the floor and been giving my dog treats, I never would have asked a question about it ever.
That
And
was
it
her
just
one
like,
mistake.
So like,
That's a great fucking story.
yeah.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by T-Mobile. Okay, tell me why the holidays are so much better when you don't even have to leave the house. Like a blanket, wine, and something to watch, I'm in always. And as soon as November 1st hits, I'm turning on my favorite holiday movie without a doubt. Daddy Gang, you already know the one. She trades her LA house for this cute English cottage and meets the hottest guy who just happens to be single. And during these movie marathons, snacks are covered with perks that truly deliver. Honestly, the benefits with T-Mobile just keep adding up. The more we use it, the more we get out of it. And this holiday, you won't believe all that you'll get when you're with T-Mobile. I never have to worry about what to stream because my Magenta Status plan has me covered while I'm finding my next favorite rom-com on Netflix. They even have discount tickets for some of my favorite shows. So if I do leave the couch, it's worth it. T-Mobile keeps me covered wherever I am for whatever I need. Check it out at T-Mobile.com/Magenta Status. Qualifying plan required for streaming benefits. Terms apply.
What were your guys' lives like, dating wise, before you guys became the Chainsmokers? I know you went to Syracuse.
Yeah, I went to Syracuse.
What were you like in college?
It was like college. You know.
It was just college.
I mean, like, yeah, you date a couple girls, and
Right.
then,
Shout out
and,
to Makai.
Yeah, I was a frat bro.
Oh, you were a frat guy.
Yeah.
So you had a nice time.
Yeah.
And you went to NYU, Alex?
Yeah, I was a New York City boy. I was like a terrible club. I was like a quantity club promoter, not a quality. But I loved, you know,
that
what I mean,
launched
I
our
loved,
career.
Well, you actually were a club promoter.
Oh, for sure.
This is so great.
But it was like, it taught me, honestly, like, I know this is like, shout out to all my club promoters out there, you know, making ends meet. But I like, it taught me a lot about like staying in touch with people and like, you know, like how do you differentiate yourself, like a stupid night out that's the same night every night from a different club to the next, and how do you like, you know, like make your thing a little bit more special than the other guy or whatever that's the other club. And like for me, like, you know, I think at this part of my life, girls were always sort of a challenge, you know, like I was like stealing quarters. I wasn't exactly like desirable beyond like whatever crappy table I was like getting 2 free bottles at or something. And I think, but it did like, I think forced me to like have a bit more of a personality, you know what I mean?
The self-awareness.
Well, also,
really
I will
forced
attest,
me.
like, Alex's club personality is it's remarkable. There's no one better in a club. Like, he can have a full conversation, and he doesn't even hear the other person, but his reaction is so genuine.
That's great.
That keeps them talking and keeps them engaged, and then he'll just pick off, I guess, where you, like, left off. And, like, you're like, I love that guy. And he's like, I don't know who that is, and I didn't understand a word they said.
I really respect that, because the club promoter, you can be the creepy club promoter, which I don't think you were.
No, I wasn't the creepy club promoter.
Okay.
No,
Well, we
definitely
couldn't even,
not.
if you were, we would never know.
I
Right?
couldn't, no one would have come back. No one would have come back.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do respect that. Okay, I want to hear from both of you. Drew, obviously I know you're both in relationships, but like, what is Alex's type?
I'm curious what
Well,
line
okay,
you're going to
well,
draw
what-
between all these.
Yeah. like physically?
Oh, just all around.
Trying to like,
I mean, I would say, like, up until his current girlfriend, who I adore, he's attracted to, like, some kind of severe issue. Yeah. For real, like think about
Up
every
until
single
the
one.
current one, though.
Up until the current one, like,
Just wanna
like,
clarify.
Moo, we love Moo. Moo's great, close with the family.
Yeah.
Like, very empathetic, takes all of our side. You know, like, she's amazing. There was always something like fucked up with every single other one,
yeah, that's probably fair.
and like that. But that's like what got you. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it made it like entertaining for you.
Yeah. I mean, you're also like, again, I don't know. You might be right.
I really appreciate the honesty, and I like how you received that. There was no defensiveness. You were just open, and you accepted
And
that.
none of them were the right ones, that's for sure.
Right, right, there you go.
And they're all great, too, in their own respective. They just weren't great for me.
Totally.
But they all got one thing.
Severely, seriously, something is wrong with that.
Watch yourself in New York now.
I know.
On the street.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Alex, what is Drew's type?
I mean, it's a kind of similar thing in the way that, like, I think both our current girlfriends are, like, very radically different from, like, the previous. Like, it's like something changed or clicked, you know, which I also think is true. Like, I'm not coinciding, like, our last album release and changing our lives. But, like, in some ways, like, something did happen, like, in the last year and a half or 2 years with us that I think, like, whether it's our insecurity or just the confidence that we have in, like, ourselves, or, you know, just, like knowing who we want to be as we get older. Because I think maybe, like, he liked girls that were, like, part of, like, the scene a little bit, and maybe had that, like if people were excited, you know what I mean? It, like it was like, oh, you can't believe you're dating that person, sort of.
So like you're saying they were excited about the lifestyle that
maybe
Drew
that's it.
presented.
I don't know if that's like totally fair, like a common thread between all of them, because like some of them like didn't enjoy going out, some like fucking loved going out, like some like loved, you know, their power of their social media, and other ones like cared less about it, you know. But I think it was like a being out.
Yes.
Out there, you know,
out there.
Outside.
They loved the life. Did
Out
you
in
feel that
nature.
in the moment?
I mean, like, most of the girls I dated were like very, and like I still have great relationships with all of them. First of all,
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I mean,
People
like,
say they're friends with all their exes.
Like my bridges are so burned. Like, I'm so. It's like Pangea. You know what I mean? Versus now the world as you know it.
Oh my god, you can't see them on the street. That shit will just.
No,
get
I thought I was
crazy.
gonna get stabbed last time I saw one of my exes, and I like had to leave out of like pure fear of my own life.
And then Drew's like, I'm friends with all of them.
They're
We're
everywhere.
all so close.
Like, they're always
we're not
around.
close, but like, you know,
It's chill.
You know,
It's chill. Okay, fair.
like,
fair.
what's there to be mad? But I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is kind of done now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I felt.
Are you guys the type of people that would go back to exes ever?
My shit is burned. There ain't no going back. It's done. Like, it is.
Yeah.
They like go down and like
yours
flames.
feel like they really end
Yeah.
dramatic.
There's no like hook. I think like maybe one time like an ex when she was like blacked out like showed up at my door and was like, I'm down to have sex with you like one more time.
Right.
And that was like 18 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that, like it was a long time since that happened. But I'm glad because I do see like a lot of couples have that like really annoying 6-8
Yeah, and
month
it just
like
goes and
weird
goes.
buffer where you're just like, what's happening here?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
you know, like why is she still around?
I get it.
No one likes her. She doesn't like you. We know this.
Fair.
Like, you know, so I think in some ways like the hard cut is like important for both people to kind of move on.
Is Drew good at the hard cut?
I would say on more on the no side.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not good on the hard
You're not
cut.
good.
Yeah.
But you're getting better.
I mean, I'm dating someone now.
You're
Like,
good.
it's not like it's not, you know.
Yeah. But sometimes you would linger back.
Yeah, like you break up, I'm like, oh, we're still friends.
Oh my God, Drew is the guy that's just
But I think we
coming
do
right on
yeah.
back.
But I think we both care about. I mean, it's like I wish we didn't, but we really care what people think. Like,
I
you
get
don't
it.
want to leave. Like, I don't. It doesn't make me like happy that like all my exes like blow my brain out if they could like see me. You know, and
Have either of you ever been cheated on?
probably. Actually, I know I have for sure. Yeah.
How did you find out?
Yeah, I'll let him go first.
Well, like,
Okay.
okay, what's the definition of cheating?
Emotional or physical?
Okay. Then yeah, definitely.
Why? What were you thinking of?
Yeah, well, like physically, I know about one time.
Okay.
But it was like the thing where like the girl, I was living in New York and the girl like broke up with me ish. Was like, I need a break, and then like fucked some other dude, and I like, knew that happened, and then she got back together with me like 2 weeks later, and I was like, so I just flicked through the old phone, and boom,
And
there
it
it
was
was.
right there.
There it was.
Okay, but
You got to look through for the best friend text.
Yeah.
You don't look for the guy, you look for the best friend.
Drew knows.
Yeah.
That's someone that's definitely been cheated on.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying? Is like what considered cheating? Because what you were on a break, or was there a different thing of like emotion?
Oh no, there's another like emotional thing.
That's rough.
Yeah.
How did you find out? The iPad.
iPad.
Always the iPad.
The
What
iPad.
about you? How did you find out you got cheated on, Alex?
I mean, I think it's happened in like maybe like 2 or 3 times,
Okay.
but it was all for the best.
That's good. That's good.
But I think how was the first time? I think the first time I was just like, it was just so obvious. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was just like I just didn't know how like
Like you can feel when it's happening.
Yeah.
yeah. I just
something's
couldn't
off.
figure it out, and like they just they just lied over and over again. So you didn't
Yeah.
really like have proof until finally I think they just like I don't remember. It was just again it was like someone told me, and then you were just like show me the map. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It was
yeah,
like
you
this
just
is
knew.
it. And then it was like again, it was like a relief. It was like,
Yeah.
thank God, because like this was like such a waste, anyways.
Yeah.
But the really funny one, and by the way, like just speaking in general for everyone out there, like I actually don't think looking through people's phones is healthy, including my like you have to practice what you preach. Like I
Right.
think like on some levels, like if you feel like something is like really fucking off, then like sure go get your proof. But like just because you like been in a bad relationship in the past doesn't like give you creative freedom to go and
Like
snoop
design
through
a story
people's
about
shit.
what. Yeah.
Right.
And-
But
But in this case, I was like, something's fucking up. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
could not, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I
Wait. Are you gonna tell the Craigslist
Craigslist
one?
story.
Oh, nice.
what? Tell me.
I don't know which one's worse.
Craigslist?
This is like way long ago. This is like I was at NYU when this
Okay.
happened.
Okay,
This
we're
is like
ready.
BlackBerry.
We're
days.
ready.
There's
We're
not even
ready.
iPhones. Like I
Oh,
don't
I
think you
love
could
it.
even lock a BlackBerry.
Okay, we're ready.
This is a good one.
And I was just like so over it. I was like this, like this girl's being shady with a friend of mine that I introduced to her, like another girl. And I was just like, I thought it was like maybe like a drug thing or whatever. I couldn't figure it out, and I was just like kind of at the end of it and whatever. And I always had a problem too of girls moving in with me too fast, which I think is like a very New York thing to do because like it's hard to like survive in New York. So it's like you kind of just like come on down, live in my studio apartment with me. And so I remember going and looking in the bathroom, and I had no idea what I was going to find. And I was like, same thing, went to the best friend text, and it was like, all about getting blow. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, maybe that's the problem. She just like, it kind of has like a drug problem right now, and she's wrapped up in that. Like, that's not so bad. But then it was like, like unfiltered. It was like, how do we get, like, we're out of money. Like, how do we get blow? And it was like, I have an idea. Like, why don't you go on Craigslist and like pee on somebody? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh no. You know what I mean? And I was like, and then there were the emails, and it was like, she was peeing on people. Yeah.
There were the emails.
There they were. And this is like this is not like today's technology too. It's like BlackBerry, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Days. And I was just kind of like, I remember just like, I wasn't even mad because it was like kind of such a bizarre
I feel like that's
thing.
a good way to go out. Like it's almost better that it was like
it's like
peeing
a great
on
story.
someone.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell a lot
Right.
of other breakup stories like this. This is a great story.
Right.
And it like wasn't a big deal in the like history of my, life.
Totally.
So you like laugh about these things and you're just kind of like, I remember just like waking up and I was just like,
Hey.
you're peeing on people and for drugs and just gotta call. We're gonna have to call it now.
You can't live with me
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't blame
And
me.
he's
for
like, I
this.
didn't hook up with them, and I was like,
Yeah,
we're getting like, like we're really getting granular here about like what's happening.
She's like, it wasn't in their mouth. It was just on the. You're like, I don't want to know where you were.
I was more
peeing.
like, you're super hot. Like, who's the lucky guy that was
Right.
like hit up some Craigslist ad to like get a girl to pee on, and then like you showed up like
Right,
like, as
on
like a jackpot. You know what I mean?
Jesus
Like
Christ.
that's where my head was at. I was like, I don't know what you're charging, but
That
like
is such an incredible story that I think
crazy.
you're right. You can take pride in that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not sad. It's like a once in a lifetime. She found her like niche on Craigslist and she
Yeah.
went with it.
I just like how manipulated she got. Like her friend was like, "You should go do this," even though like they were both doing the drug. It was like,
Yeah.
"Why don't you go pee?"
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're not in a relationship, and it's like, no, you do it. Yeah. It was just
Wow.
Yeah.
Alex, you've got some great story times today.
an old man.
Do you guys even talk about sex with each other?
Yeah, absolutely, all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like some guys are.
I want to clarify. Like the sweater was a bad choice. I'm so warm.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Okay, I'm gonna do
You
that.
can take
I'm
it
like
off.
really red right
No,
now,
it's
and I just
hot.
want to
It got hot
clarify.
in here.
Yeah.
After Alex was talking about peeing and the women taking the whatever.
I'm not into that shit, by the way, everybody. Just for the
It's hot.
record,
It
otherwise
is
I would have
hot.
stayed with her.
Can we make sure the AC is on? We're almost done, I promise. I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer.
Yeah.
I knew everyone was getting hot. Do you want to take your sweater off?
No, I'm cool as a cucumber.
Okay. Drew's like,
I'm dying.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
some heat, but I'm okay.
so you guys talk about sex with each
Committed.
other.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys obviously don't need to say like the name of someone, but when I say this question, if someone comes to mind, like who is the best sex you've ever had? You don't have to say their name, but like explain why.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I wish I don't know the answers.
Drew
I do. It's my
smiled
current
and looked
girlfriend.
up, so
Yeah.
go ahead, Drew.
I felt like I was first of all, it was someone I wasn't dating.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a hookup situation that was super random and like last minute and like happened a couple times. And I think like the spontaneity, the whole thing was amazing. There was zero expectations. And then every now and then, and this is really rare because, a lot of times, especially, if you really care about someone before you hook up for the first time, it's sometimes really hard to like perform how you want to perform and like receive love the same way. And I think on both sides, and it's kind of when you have like spontaneous sex with someone that you're just like into, you just kind of have like there's none of that. But it's also really rare in those situations that you find someone that's like you're sexually connected with. Yeah. You can have average sex with anybody, but like every now and then, like you'll have like a hookup that's just
Great.
yeah, you're both on the same page, you're into the same things, your bodies fit together the right way, like that type vibe.
I think
That's really
great.
good.
That's a great answer. Which one of you is more likely in the past to hook up with a fan?
Toss up.
Yeah.
Really depends on the city.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I figured you'd ask us a
Northeast, it's
question like
definitely
that,
him,
and like
but-
when you say fan, do you mean like someone at our show or like a diehard fan? Because I don't think we've ever hooked up with like a diehard fan, like no one wearing merch or anything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's really fair.
Take the merch off their body.
You're
No,
wearing my
I-
face.
Still hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so just like someone at your concert. That's fair.
Yeah, toss up.
It's both of you are
toss
getting.
up,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair. How often do people propose threesomes with the two of you, and how often have you accepted?
Get out of my head.
This is up to you to answer.
I don't want to answer
don't
this
wanna answer it?
question.
It's call her daddy.
How often is it proposed?
Not proposed a lot.
Seldom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's a lot of man. It's a lot of man.
But it's happened.
Does it count if it's internationally?
I'm so proud of you guys. Was it? Did you look at each other differently that morning?
The first time?
All the times.
I think we were just like, what the fuck just happened? Because like it wasn't like we were never planned. You know what I mean? It was always like, just like, I don't know what is happening right now, but like I'm also just like, I don't know. Where's that? It's weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know like how.
I think that's how threesomes happen though.
Yeah.
In any way.
Absolutely, it's usually
just
never
like,
planned.
This is just starts. Okay. I guess we're doing that.
It's been a long time, you know what I mean? But in the early
be
days,
clear.
it was also like the days when we used to have to like share hotel rooms, like you know what I mean? Like we would be in Europe, they have the 2 beds, they don't even split them apart.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they literally have 2 singles. So it's like almost by force. We were forced.
Yo,
into these
that
scenarios
sounds crazy.
You were forced to have a threesome together.
by the European government because they don't separate their beds.
Right. You just had to
kidding.
make the most of the bad situation.
They just separated the beds like America does.
Right. So you just made it work.
Yeah, no.
Do you guys remember your first one? Like, did you look at each other differently?
I was like, man, this guy's
Uh,
hot. I'm glad he's my partner.
yeah. I think I'm actually blushing now.
you are.
Now it's not the heat. Yeah, I'm actually blushing. I'm just so
Long
concerned
time.
about how what Alex just said is going to be taken.
No, I think it's great. I think
What part? The government?
We were forced.
No,
Not by the women, by the government.
By the government. The government forced us to do all kind of things.
There's just a lot. I mean, we had a lot of mileage on these tires. You know what I mean?
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been into the same person, and how do you deal with that? We can't even move on. We're just like, Drew's like, okay, I need to go.
Yeah.
It's okay. Drew, it's gonna be okay.
I don't think we
Yeah.
ever have hooked up with the same person. But I'm not positive.
You just said you had a fucking threesome.
True.
Oh, that's a good point. But like, I thought you meant like separately.
Have you? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay,
Yeah,
fair. What's the one thing for you both that you're like, I really like this from someone in bed? For all the ladies listening, give us a little tip.
I mean, confidence. You know, like someone who like knows what they like, that can just take control. And like, there's a lot of people that just don't do that. Like, I mean, as you know, it goes both ways. You know, it like doesn't even have to be right. Just like confidence of like, this is what I'm trying to do right now. You know, and like I think especially like from the beginning when you hook up with someone and they're like, I'm trying to like fuck you, instead of like whatever you want to do is so much hotter.
I mean, can I just say the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Same. I mean, that is true though. You know what I mean? But I think it cuts both ways also. Like you can
Yeah.
be confident and submissive at the same time.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What type of women intimidate you?
All of them.
Yeah.
Your exes, Alex.
Yeah, all of them.
Your exes are terrifying.
What kind of women intimidate? Very stylish women. Yeah, because I am trying my best with my style, and when I see someone who has it, like male or female, I see it as a form of intelligence that is just very subtle and tasteful, and I don't think I have amazing style, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And when I see someone that just really kills it on either side, I'm like, damn, that person's got some swagger to them. I wonder what else they think about that way.
I'm dressed like a slob, so it's just like doesn't affect me at all. I respect it, but it doesn't.
I was like, I'm not
it doesn't
really
intimidate
looking
me,
for that.
but I respect it. I think it's great. I mean, I think any form of like self-expression like that like really, people really care about is like incredible.
Yeah.
And it like I'm bummed that I don't have the like capacity to go the distance. So
You got other stuff going on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You put on a sweater
Got other
today.
things
Like,
to worry about.
you look great.
Yeah, this is a cardigan that I'm very fond of.
Okay. This is the most listened to podcast by women.
Yeah,
Is there anything you want to say to just like the women?
make amends.
Yeah.
You may have offended on this episode.
I was gonna say, is there anything you would want to say to like the women of the world listening from the Chainsmokers?
I feel like ironically, like I mean, I grew up in a house full of women. Funny enough, and I know like your mom is one of your like biggest inspirations and best like friendships, and like I know in general, I almost feel like I feel like I have more in common with like the females in my life in terms of how we can relate to them, and it's really cool to have this opportunity to be on the show, and hopefully we didn't make too big a fool of ourselves. And I'm honestly a huge fan of yours. It's like really cool to see anyone, but like especially, you know, you in this case, like create such an amazing brand that like inspires people. And I think that at the end of the day, like if you can go out and inspire like 3 or 4 people to say like I can just be myself and people will acknowledge me for that, and you know, and celebrate that, that's like pretty much the greatest thing, you know, that we could ask for. Did I spin that? That was good.
That was
Nice.
That was good. I was freestyling out here.
You're like, how is that going to go with the press? Is that going to work? You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Chainsmokers, it was an honor. Thank you for coming on Call Her Daddy.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Woo!
Sweet.